I was a lot worse off for wear. Because there's always that trick. If you're going out for a drink, have some bread and butter because it helps sort of the fat cell line the stomach. Well, that doesn't work when you're looking at a full sort of vegan-based diet, right?
So are you saying there was wine there as well?
Oh, there was definitely wine at this event, and I'm just saying how the fact that the full vegan plant-based diet doesn't really work too well when it comes to soaking up excess alcohol. And don't get me wrong, on the planet Mars, I don't think they'll be having rages like we do down here. But it shows sort of that, well, a vegan cheese doesn't really have the same effect on the body that real cheese does, using this sort of one example of how these things interact in our body, right?
I think that, and I don't want to steer this too out of control.
That's
some
all right.
people might think I'm a little out there, but if you're going to even, and again, I'm just saying this to be out of respect, as if a spokesperson of veganism were here, but there are flip-flop arguments about even veganism. Like, plants can also potentially feel pain. So the grapes and the wine is one thing, right? Like when they were involved in mushing the grapes for that process, that's something that could have invoked pain for that. And the other thing that I wanted to point out was, okay, if you're going to go to the extent of going veganism and staying healthy and going on that path, why not create your own environment of food? Why does it have to be wine and cheese? Why are you trying to mimic the same type of healthy, or not healthy, but why are you trying to mimic the same type of what I want to say, psychological combinations that we're used to having? Why not just come up with your own selection of foods? That way there's a clear distinction between the veganism and, normal food. Why does it always have to mimic that?
It's interesting you bring that up. It's like, if you're going to go vegan, here you've got plenty of vegetables. Those are the things that you've chosen that you want to eat. Stop trying to, like you say, sort of mimic them, because, well, what's the point? And then when you start to sort of process the foods and have all these additives to make it taste like you want it to taste, then it's kind of a little bit defeatist. And is it really sort of that healthy? But I really got to touch on the whole the vegetables and plants, that they may actually have feelings in sort of a manner. I don't know if we can prove this, but it's going to be one hell of a kick in the teeth to the vegans if that's an actual fact, that you're just crushing the grapes and actually no, it's actually quite terrible in its own right. They're going to have nothing to eat at this point.
Well, I can imagine that someone who's vegan is laughing at that argument right now, but I think, again, if we're talking at a cellular level, the chemical reactions that are being inflicted that are relatable to pain, right, are very similar to potentially a human being inflicted pain. So that is a potential argument. I know there are studies for that. So it's kind of like the chicken nugget argument that you were bringing up earlier. Like, if you're going to have chicken nuggets, have the damn chicken nuggets. Why do you have to mimic and make the form of chicken nuggets? You're kind of cheating yourself. You want to have the chicken nuggets, but you know that you're trying to get away with it and have some vegan type option of that. So just, if you're going to try to be vegan, I would say be raw about it, have the natural form of it. Don't try to mimic and be confusing about it. Who are you lying to kind of thing. It's kind of like if you're a smoker and you want to quit smoking, are you going to continue that habit and have a nicotine version of something else? Why not just quit it entirely? That kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I mean, for me, to the vegans, it's like, if you want to be a vegan, that's fine. Eat your rabbit food. End of story. Like, have your lettuce, have your kale, and it's fine. I don't stop you. I don't judge you for it. But don't argue that it's healthier when you've just removed 90% of the things. Like eggs. There are things in eggs you can't get anywhere else. Like, don't, and like it's, I don't know. I could rant forever, and I'm sure there's some offended people out there now. But hey, I'm not. Nothing I say when we talk about these things is done in a manner to disrespect anybody in the slightest. It's just to engage in that conversation, look deeper beyond sort of that surface level. So, and yeah, I'll throw some sort of tongue-in-cheek humor in there anyway. But I'm happy to listen. If people want to challenge me on this, feel free to email me, gavin@unity314.com, or find us on social media. I'm happy to have these conversations, but they've got to be conversations based around logic, rational thought, not just your emotional charged opinion about something. Yes, have an opinion, but if there's nothing to back it up, like I said, I've got a book here that's based on real science right in front of me. Like, challenge me, and I'll use real science to challenge your challenge. Like we are having an honest discussion, how you're willing to even sort of put yourself in the sort of shoes, as it were, of the vegans, to be like, well, here's what they might be saying. That's important, but yeah, I mean, I think they might get a little bit upset about this, but I mean, that's life, right? People are going to disagree with you on there are things that I say that people disagree with me on, and that's fine. I don't mind.
No, I don't think you have offended anyone. I think there's going to be some people that might disagree with you, but that's not offending anyone.
No, I mean, that's the thing. Disagreement's fine, disrespect not so much.
Exactly.
We're going to get into 15 minutes of non-stop music. Hayley, hello, you don't know me. This is TKR Mornings. I'm Gizmo. That's Francesca.